mean, we know there are homosexuals in this world and all kinds of things. The average, if if you're at least 15 years old and you identify as homosexual, bisexual, binary, non-binary, any of that stuff, chances are somebody has already told you that it's a sin to be gay.
What was your question, brother?
I guess recently, in school, there's just been a lot of, uh, well, a lot of LGBTQIA plus stuff, and I
Oh,
guess,
wow, wait. When they add the new letters, I'm still stuck on Q. What does the
I don't
IA
know.
Well, they
stand
bad.
for?
You late, bro.
They
You
update
late.
that
They
every
been
other
adding
month.
levels.
Yeah, but I
Shoot,
guess my
Dave Chappelle
question
just called
was,
them the alphabet people.
but I guess my question was, right now there's not a lot of like Christians in the school. Well, I mean, there's some, but it's just my question is how would you go about dealing with that? Because it's something that I struggle with, just trying to approach that situation, and I'd like to hear from you how you would personally go with that.
Well, I mean, it's not your job. It's not like you can get rid of all the gay people in your school. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if any of them come and press you about your faith, just don't fold. Just be like, no, like that's a sin according to the Bible. Um,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And if any of your friends are struggling with it and they come to you with a humble heart, like, yo, man, I'm struggling with this, pray for them and stuff. But I mean, I think a lot of people think like it's our job to fight this wickedness when it's already
mhm,
prophesied that wickedness is gonna win. It's like it's like you trying to mop up a river. It's like, are you ever gonna clean up a river? Are you gonna take all the water out with a mop? No. So is our job is to preach to the saints and to preach to those who are willing to hear the word, and just be open about our faith and not be ashamed of it. The real thing is not the real thing anymore isn't about combating evil. It's keeping evil from taking away the saints that we have. That's what's happening now. It's like evil is beating people in the faith, or people in the faith are folding now. You know what I mean? So we need to be having a stronger
Mhm.
hold and protection over people that are already in the faith than trying to get people that are going against the faith. You feel me?
yeah. Thank you so much.
Man, you be safe, my brother, man.
Thank you. You too.
Peace. Yeah, what do you think about that, brother Josh? I feel like a lot of Christians kind of put themselves in unnecessary battles.
They do. They insert themselves in situations that don't really concern them. Right? It's called being a busybody. Right? I mean, we know there are homosexuals in this world and all kinds of things. The average, if if you're at least 15 years old and you identify as homosexual, bisexual, binary, non-binary, any of that stuff, chances are somebody has already told you that it's a sin to be gay. I know you've heard it, right? So I'm not gonna come to you and tell you that. And then when you get into the older generation, like 30s and stuff, come on. They don't need me to tell them that's wrong. They've already heard it. Heck, their own parents probably told them, right? Our problem is we don't know the difference between preaching and policing, right? We don't try to preach, we try to police. It's not our job to police, right? That's what we try to do. We try to police people and tell them and try to make people um bend to our will. Well, detective, the Josh, it is his job, 'cause, he's a detective. I'm talking to the dude in the chat, that's his job, right? But everybody ain't Detective Josh. You feel me? So we're not supposed to be out here trying to force our will on people. And that's what people do, right? And our younger generation, unfortunately, is being taught to do that. They're being taught, go out there, and when people tell you they don't want to hear it, keep harassing them. keep messing with them, right?
You know what I just
I had
thought
a
of,
guy
Brother
in my
Josh?
DM earlier.
I just thought about
Mhm.
how Christians try to impose their views on other people now that the LGBTQ community is in former power, and now they're imposing their views and their belief on people. It's like Christians today can't take the medicine that they were given to them. You know what I mean?
Or like the poison, right? But that's called backlash, bro. Think of it as a spring. Any one of y'all ever play Sonic the Hedgehog in the chat? I like to use metaphors that the kids understand. Y'all know that little red spring that if you hold down a button and then you release it, Sonic goes. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That's what happens when a society tries to force something on a group of people. It's a spring back. It's gonna push back and it's gonna push back hard. That's what's been going on with Christianity. Now they're in a position where people are not only trying to make them be tolerant of their views, but making them accept it. That's why I was saying earlier, I had a guy in the chat, and I tell people all the time, look, what we need to understand first and foremost is Christians are not supposed to be pushy. We're supposed to be persistent, but not pushing. Now you say, well, Josh, that's the same thing. No, persistent means I'm never going to give up trying to win people. Pushing is I'm never going to give up trying to win the same individual over who already don't told me he don't want to hear it. Right? See, we're supposed to be persistent in trying to win souls, but not trying to win a soul. When somebody say they don't want to hear it, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's somebody else who identifies as a Christian with a different faith. If they tell you they don't want to hear it, you, as the gospel instructs us to do, are supposed to shake off the dust of your feet, metaphorically, and keep it moving. I used to work in sales, GiDeon, right? I was a telemarketer. Our supervisor used to monitor our phone calls from her desk at random, right? We could always tell when she was listening because we'd have an echo. That's why, by the way, for all y'all who go on the phone, if you're ever talking on the phone and you just start hearing the echo, like your own echo, hang up the phone. That means you're more than likely being monitored at random. That's how I learned about that. So just hang up, and when you call back, you good. But if you hear that echo, I'm telling y'all, I'm just putting it out there. If you're ever talking on the phone and all of a sudden start hearing the echo like you hear yourself, anybody who ever worked in telecommunications will tell you that usually means somebody is monitoring you, right? That's what that means. So anyway, we're not supposed to be trying to impose our beliefs on people. I worked in sales, and what they would tell me, what my supervisor would tell me, if I spent too much time on a caller. Now, we were taught to handle reluctance. They called it handling reluctance. I mean, when they first say no, you try to convince them. But we're supposed to have a cutoff point where we leave them alone. I remember my supervisor got upset at me because she was like, you spent too much time on that one sale when you should have just moved on. And I spent all that time on that one person and still didn't get the sale. That's the messed up part about it. All that time and still didn't get the sale. That's how we're supposed to be looking at this. When we're dealing with people, we are supposed to leave them alone if they say no. Right now, if you see you kind of like winning them over a little bit, yeah, use your judgment. But if they be like, nah, man, I'm good, find somebody else. Don't waste your time on that one sale. Don't do that.